Morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome to Morning Musings, where we're listening for a message from the universe about going for our big dreams. And we're utilizing Alana Fairchild's Sacred Rebels Oracle card deck as the conduit for that message to come through. And what I mean by going for your big dreams is living your most authentic life, going for the things that you love to do, taking um, the lead from your divine spark within, that little voice that goes, "Oh, let's do that," or "Ooh, stay away from that." Right? We all have that voice that knows what's right for us within us, and actually listening to that little voice. And maybe that voice has been hushed. Maybe it's hard for you to hear it, but it's there. And I know you have heard it at some point in time, but whether you've listened to it or not, that's the different story, right? And it could be that you stopped listening because of everyone around you telling you something different or saying that that thing that you've voiced from within is wrong or strange or weird or stupid or all the negative descriptors. And so, because it wasn't accepted out there, you started to hide it in here. But that's your truth. That internal voice, that internal knowing is your truth. And it's okay to listen to that because you're the only one that lives with you 24/7, 365, all the years of your life. There are other people that come in and go. There are people that come in and stay, but they're never with you 24 hours a day. You're the only one. So you should probably live your life, not theirs. They have their own life. They have their own ways of doing things, and that's fine. But for them to tell you what you need to be doing with your life, maybe not so much. You know, they may have some insights as to where they see things that light you up, and that might be helpful. But for them to go, "That's stupid, you shouldn't do that." No, 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 no. And again, I say no. It's your life. You know what lights you up. You know what makes you feel good. You know what interests you and sparks a bit of like, "Oh, go do that." So go do that. Whatever that is. Find a productive way to make that happen. You know? So let's get into a little meditation. Just get connected, reconnected to you, to the energies that surround you as we shuffle the cards and wait for the right card to be pulled. So get comfortable in your chair and take a deep breath. Close your eyes and just feel your body. Do a scan of your body from head to toe. And in this scan, I would like you to notice the things that feel good, all the things that are working well, the muscles, the tissue, the, the bones, the joints, the organs, everything that is working well and does not call your attention on a normal basis. And I want you to thank those areas of your body that just work. And for the next scan, I want you to focus on those areas that do call your attention, that do create stress or anxiety in your mind. And I want you to thank them too. I want you to know that those areas, that pain, that tension, that's your body protecting you from further injury. And that injury could be mental, emotional, spiritual, or physical. And for those areas that have been in tension for years upon years upon years upon years, really thank that area, because that's a place in the body that has been holding your protective nature for a long time from an experience that you had when you couldn't protect yourself. It's holding on to that layer of survival mode. Just in case that thing might happen again. And this is especially true if it was an environment that you grew up in, if it was a person that was constantly around you. Thank you to that space, to that area in your body that kept you safe, that got you through that experience, that helped you deal with that person, that incident, those incidents, and know now that those people and that environment no longer surrounds you, especially in this moment, right here, sitting in this chair, watching this video. This is a safe place. And as your body acclimates to that, and it gets the idea that maybe it can let go of some of that protective nature because those people aren't here. That situation isn't happening right now. That environment was years ago. Maybe your body can start to relax as you remind it it is safe. That thing is not going to happen right now. That statement, that action, that person, that place is not here. And as your body is relaxing into this knowledge as best it can, I want you to dive into your heart center. And I want you to go beyond all the boundaries that keep your heart safe. And as you enter in to the inner realms of your heart, beyond all those boundaries, you start to see a light shining. And as you hit the center, you see it, your divine spark. That which lights you up fully, completely, happily, with the most joy possible. This is your gift to the world. This is your gift that you have been protecting by putting up all those boundaries, by putting up the survival techniques, by playing small when it wasn't safe. This spark, this big dream is now strong enough for those boundaries to come down, for those walls of protection to be dismantled slowly, surely, capably. Not with a big wrecking ball, but with a step-by-step dismantling, so that your light can shine through with confidence and strength. And as you're noticing this, imagine the soles of your feet opening up and inviting in the energy of the earth, the core energy of creativity and life. And as that energy comes in through your feet, your ankles, your legs, your knees, your thighs, your hips, your torso, abdomen, chest, shoulders, arms, neck, and head. It connects to your divine spark and says, yes, let's create. We have the experience, the strength, the hope to move forward, to create this magical life, this big dream in all its iterations, in all its forms, in all its growth. And now imagine that the energy of the universe is right there. And you open the top of your head and invite it in. The stars, the knowing, the knowledge, the connectedness. And all that flows in through your head, down your neck, your shoulders, your arms, your chest, your torso, your hips, your thighs, your knees, your legs, your ankles, your feet. And it too connects to your divine spark, illuminating the path forward. And you can see it. It's right there. All the starshine showing you the way. The hills, the valleys, the twists, the turns, the obstacles, and the tools that are laid out there for you to navigate it all. And this universal knowledge, this universal connectedness says, yes, it's time. It is time to shine. And your divine spark begins to glow even brighter, connected to the universe, connected to the earth. And it breaks through the cracks and the holes in the walls designed to protect it and keep it small so that it shines through and fills every cell in your body with light and love, connectedness and passion, the desire to move forward, the motivation to do the work to make your big dream happen. Oh, blessed be. Amen. So mote it be. Our card for today is going beyond normal. Going beyond normal. On the path of life, there are deciding moments where we can choose to go with the mainstream, or we can dare to take a bolder, more authentic, and trusting way, even if it seems riskier or less safe. To rely solely on logic and science without incorporating the mysterious and magical is a recipe for an existence that is far too dry. The sacred rebel within our hearts will always choose a juicier approach to life. You are currently approaching such a choice point. You could say that the choice is about balance. It is less about choosing to honor either art or science, gardening or architecture, and more about integrating all approaches so that you enhance rather than hinder your life journey. Placing science or architecture above all else kills off the rebellious heart. Steadfastly relying on logic, proof, and a complete set of plans to measure and dictate outcomes will suffocate the soul. Basing decisions on limited factors with an imbalanced measure of success is unnecessarily limiting. This approach prevents us from living freely, spontaneously, and with trust so that we can rebel against the need for things to go strictly according to plan. Choose to value decisions based on passion and instinct, and trust in life enough to embrace it as an adventure and let it unfold as it will. There is a time and place for logic, strategy, planning, and measurable outcomes. These are not bad tools to have, but we must be vigilant not to worship them or allow them to quash our less rational but equally valuable decision making tools: intuition, feelings, and those things you know without knowing how you know them. The flowing, inspirational energy of the heart may have no conceivable basis in logic or reason and still be uncannily accurate. To remain rebellious, we must not sacrifice the art of emotion, instinct, passion, and intuition for the science of logic and strict planning. On the other hand, gardening and art do provide us with a plan, albeit a more loosely held plan. This plan still requires us to set aside time, to draw upon reliable methods, and to prepare with certain tools. However, there is also a healthy dose of organic flow responsiveness, and trust in the creative process of bringing something to life. This leads to the cultivation of the most beautiful, abundant, and successful garden and the most vivid healing art. You are being asked to open to the intuitive approach in your life, your work, your creativity, as well as in your spiritual journey. The intuitive approach can be likened to the method of a gardener or an artist. There is a sense of what might work where, and a loose or even detailed plan, but how the plan is carried out will depend on and respond to the flow of its surroundings. There is no need to control the situation, but rather a desire to nurture an idea to fruition. You may have pressures around you from the world or from your own conditioned nature to do things according to the rules, to a deadline, or to the accepted mainstream view that you need a well thought out plan for success in a commercial venture. However, sometimes the best plan is to do what feels intuitively truthful in the moment and to trust that you are being led towards your own growth. Adopting this approach means you have to do far less planning and far more living. It is a pure and heart centered way to manifest your art, your life path, and your essence into practical expression into the world. It involves a willingness to be led by nature instead of trying to control the powerful force of life, which is a bit like trying to fit a proverbial ocean in a teacup. It is far more intelligent to allow the ocean to be the ocean and to learn to swim in it rather than trying to cram it into a vessel that is just much too small. This oracle brings you a special piece of guidance. You are moving outside of the plan. You are living on the border of what is socially acceptable. This is good. This is fringe dwelling freedom. Others might not see this about you straight away, as you seem pretty normal, but that secret, eccentric streak is just waiting to show itself. And maybe you are an out and out, bleh, and maybe you are an out and proud fringe dweller, completely comfortable with this way of being. Either way, this oracle brings you the message that you now have a chance to live from the heart more deeply and expressively than ever before. It wants you to realize that this is a legitimate, empowered, and creative way to live that honors all of who you are. You can give up forcing or squashing yourself down into a very limited set of so called desirable qualities like intellect and control. If you are yet to relate to this consciously, this oracle brings you the further message that you are going to be breaking with tradition. Perhaps not entirely, but at least in a way that is meaningful to you. This will require you to have courage in your convictions and faith in your heart truths. This will help you and inspire others around you to step out of fear and live more freely and lovingly. You are not necessarily meant to abandon logic and intellect altogether. You are to use them to serve the desires of the heart rather than to replace its naturally spontaneous and truthful nature with controlled planning and narrow strategy. It's time to get a bit wild and let nature take its course, going beyond normal. Ah, mm, normal's so boring. Let's do the healing process. Say aloud, I now call on unconditional love and ask for the blessings of the heart to be witnessed and sanctioned by the great universal creator so that I may rise above small mindedness and use the best of what human culture has to offer in service to love through my own free will. So be it. Visualize or imagine the feeling of being in a most gorgeous garden. It might be well manicured, a little bit wild, or a wildly overgrown jungle. Just notice it. Notice how all the plants work together and how it is supported by nature and the seasons. Notice that whilst some things thrive, others fall away, only to shift again with the seasons. There is such organizational genius. And say, may the wisdom and guiding hand of the great gardener who works with unconditional love nurture the garden of my soul into magnificence. I dare to live creatively from my heart and thrive. Finish your healing process by sitting quietly, dancing wildly, or doing a spot of gardening. Whatever feels good. Going beyond normal. What is normal anyway? Normal is what everybody else says are the rules. And all the rules are made up. If you go to a different country, the rules are a little different, or they might be vastly different. But we're still human. Somebody made up some rules. Other people made up other rules. And those became normal, what the society expected. And everybody understands them because they grew up in them. They accepted these walls. And if we go through history and all the different cultures, there are some interesting rules that have happened throughout the years and eons. What rules are you living under? Do they fit or are they constraining? In near it talked about fitting an ocean into a teacup. And as I was growing up, it was, oh, they're getting too big for their britches. Well, for a long time, I thought that meant that I got to stay small and fit within the britches that I was given. And I've decided But that's not true. If you're getting too big for your britches, it's time to get new britches. Time to get if your feet don't fit in your shoes, it's time to get bigger shoes. We're all not wearing little baby shoes. If you think about it, that seems like cruel, right? It's cruel to keep a foot inside a shoe this big when the body is growing. The feet are growing. You don't keep it cramped into that. You buy bigger shoes. Because the body is growing. You are growing. You are getting bigger. Energy wise, mentally wise, emotionally wise, you're growing. And as you grow, you need a bigger environment, which means getting bigger britches. Simple solution. If you're getting too big for your britches, you need bigger britches. And they're out there. They make them. So go beyond normal today. See what happens. And namaste. Thank you for being here. Thank you for watching these morning musings. If you've been enjoying them, please hit the like and subscribe button and the bell up there. That will let you know when I go live next, which I do every morning. And go out there and be you. Follow that intuition. And remember, keep your eyes on the horizon, your hands on the wheel, and your foot on the gas, baby. Let's do this. And I'll see you tomorrow.